Hey guys, welcome back to another fun-filled tutorial with me, Jimmy. So in this scene, this is just an empty scene. I know I normally do tutorials in Unity, however I decided to do something different. So in this tutorial, I'm actually going to create a blueprint class that will have the health fill up and everything. I don't have a character class, but that's okay because I have this little guy right here, which allows me to kind of float around the level, so that I guess that's something. I guess I don't know. So is what I want to do is I actually want to make it where whenever we press something, you'll be able to see the health, but I also want to show you how to do a progressive health system. So I'm actually going to show you two different types of ways to do a health bar. The first way will be if it extends. So let's say you have a modular health setup that contains hearts, contains cubes or something like that, and you have a centerpiece and you want to come out of that centerpiece. I'm going to show you how to set that up. I'm also going to show you how to just to simply expand the health bar. Both ways are going to be very simple. But yeah, so let's go and jump into it. So the first thing we want to do is we actually want to create a new folder, and this is going to be called Blueprints. One thing I like about UE4 is you can actually click on the folder here, and I don't remember how to do it, but you can actually change the color of the folder, so that's actually pretty cool. Let's see if I can remember it real quick. No, I cannot, so that's okay. Inside our Blueprints folder, we're going to go and create a blueprint class. We're going to create a player controller. So if you look at it, player controller is an actor responsible for calling upon used by the player, which is exactly what we want. Let's call this BP underscore player. Yeah, player. There we go. Anytime you do any kind of thing with Unreal, I highly recommend using a prefix or a suffix. In this case, I'm using a prefix. Create a blueprint class, so this is going to be called BP for blueprint. Then it'll be underscore, and then what that script itself does. You can also do it as a suffix where it's say player underscore BP. This just helps people kind of understand what they're looking at it. Another class that we could have created would have been a character class. Either one of these would have been fine. Player character. So either one of these would be fine. In fact, I think the this one would probably be better. So as well, I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and you will notice that if I just hit play on this, nothing really special has changed. So the reason for that is because of my game mode. Basically, if we look and hit play over here, we'll see that my player start is here. However, it's not using the BP player character, which that's fine. It doesn't have to. We can also do all this through the level blueprints, which as long as I show you how to do it, that's fine. Actually, we'll probably just use a level blueprint, no biggie. But the main thing I want to show you is the user interface. So let's go ahead and create a widget blueprint, W underscore HUD. And I'm just going to do a simple health bar for now. So you have your canvas panel, and let's go ahead and promote this to a variable. This way, if we need to call it later on, we can. I'm going to drag in my health bar. These right here are your anchor points. Make sure that these are matched up to the corners. Additionally, you can also hold down Control and start scaling them, and they will scale accordingly. I'm going to want this gray a little bit darker, and this fill and opacity here, let me set this to 50%. So right now, our health is blue. Let's just change it to a quick green. Now, over here for the style, they do have the background image and the fill image. You could put those in an image, or you can just change the tint. You can't change the tint for the fill. Well, you can, but it's not going to affect it like this does, like changing the actual fill color and opacity. So, what we want to do is go ahead and compile and save. We'll go not to that one. We actually want to go into our blueprints. Let's go ahead and open level blueprint. And for the event begin on play is what we want to do is we actually want to set the visibility to that. So is what we can do is we can simply come over here to let's see, it's create widget, and we're looking for WHUD, which is right here. And then what we want to do is we actually want to promote this to a variable. So let's go ahead and promote this to a variable real quick, and we'll call this HUD. HUD var. There we go. And what we want to do is we want to add to viewport. There we go. And we'll just drag this right on over here. And we will compile and save. So now Oh, sure, why not? Level 01. Okay, so now our level is saved. So when we hit play, we should see it. And there it is. Beautiful. So, what we want to do now is we actually want to start working just with this health bar. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is create a progressive health bar. Or I should actually say a modular health bar. So I'm going to call this health 1. And we will duplicate this. And this one will be called health 2. And all we're going to do is scale this out. Then this one will be duplicated again, and this one will be health 3. Scale this one out just a little bit more. I know I moved it, but that's okay. Alright, let's go and hit compile, save. So here's where the scripting comes in. We have this in here, but what I want to do is we actually need to create a function for this, because essentially what we're going to do is inside the level, if we press the, I don't know, let's just say if we press the L key. So if we press the L key, something's going to happen. I don't know what, but something's going to happen. So I'm going to start looking for add event. Nope. AI, animation, augmented reality, asset, manager. You'd think I'd remember where this is at, but I do not. Automation. Nope, not collision. Components. Oh, it's down here. It's something like input or something. Gamepads, here we go. So we're down to the gamepads. Just going to scroll down a little bit more. That's gesture. Here we go, keyboard events. That's what it is. And we're just going to click L. So every time we press L, we want something to happen. We're actually going to call the... Well, first we need to come in here. We need to create a new function. So we're going to go and create a new function. We'll call this increase health. And we need to create a new variable. So we'll do a variable, and this will be current health. Now, if you have a current health, you could say something like, I don't know, current health upgrade. There we go. Current health upgrade. And you actually want to set this to an int, type of int. And we will get the current health. And we're going to drag off. We're going to hit press plus plus. We're going to increment the int. And this will come in here. We will bring this in here. And we're going to set it. And this will come in here. And then this will string off of here. And that's pretty much it for this. So back in the event graph, we actually need to pull in our increase health. And we're actually going to create a custom event. So we're going to say custom, add custom event. And we're going to call this increase health pickup. So whenever this happens, it will call this to increase the health, which means it's actually calling this right here. Now, this is where it gets complicated. We're actually going to want all of our health bars. We're going to want all of our health bars, and we want to do a set visibility. And we're going to come in here. So all of our health bars we want to set inactive. And yeah, there are several ways we can do this. This is just the way that I found that actually worked pretty good for me, honestly. So we're going to say array, and we're going to say for each, and then right here we're going to say promote to variable, or no, I don't want to promote to variable. Why must you do this to me? And we're going to get the health. We're going to put this into an array. We're going to add 2 pins. And the reason why we're adding 2 pins is because we actually have 3 of them here. If you had like 5 of them, then this is basically the way you would do it. Or at least this is the way I found that works for me. So I was happy with it. It gives me the expected results I look for. I'm sure there's a better way to do it. I just don't know what it is. Okay, so what we want to do is we actually want to break this pin. We're going to move this off over here. We'll drag this pin down here and drag this. So what's going on is it'll call this. It'll increase that value, come in here, do the for each loop, for all of these. Go in here, set the visibility to hidden. And then the next thing we want to do is we're actually going to do, it's called an int. Okay, so I cannot remember what it's called, so let me go to the, let's see. Wait, is it switch int? Int switch? Switch on int. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so we're going to have 3 ints right here. And this is going to be brought off into here. We're going to have our health. So let's go ahead and duplicate those, because we will need those. Kind of important. We're also going to need our current health upgrade, so we're going to get that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set visibility. And I'm going to duplicate this twice. So we should have 3 of them total. This bad boy will get brought up here. This bad boy will get brought here. And this bad boy will get brought down here. Why are they bad? I don't know. They didn't drink their milk last night. So we're going to move these where they're a little uniform. And so now these are setting the visibility to what we want them to set the visibility to. I am going to get into animation with this one as well. So I'm going to try and go through this tutorial as fast as I can. So let's go ahead and hit compile. And let's go back to level 01. So if we press this key, what do we want it to do? Well, what we want to do is we want it to call this function right here increase health, or specifically we just want to increase health pickup. So that's what I'm going to say is increase. Oh, that's right, I'm not calling it yet. So we actually need to get our thing. Oh, what is it? WHUD. So we're going to cast to that, which I hate doing, but we're doing it anyways. And we're going to increase health pickup. So if we look, it says increase health pickup. Okie dokie. And we'll hit compile, save. Oh, we have an error. It hates me. There we go. So we will save this. We will save this. We'll hit play and see if it is working. And it looks like it was working. So I'm happy with that. It was a little wonky. No biggie. So why was it wonky though? It shouldn't have been doing that. Well, the reason why it was wonky, because if we look here inside the designer, we have all 3 of these visible. Nothing is actually saying like, hey, you need to be visible here, but you guys don't need to be. So on the event begin play is what we actually, or no, not event begin play, but inside our graph, we actually need to say like, hey, you're going to be set visible. So the way we're going to do that is for the, let's see, how do I want to do this? We could have a event construct, which is basically calling it. Like we could really have it doing this and then just say, hey, set visibility for this. So the way we do that is just like this, and we simply drag health 01, or you can just create another, or you can just drag another one of these in here. Either way works. So now we have this. We press L, and we can see it's working. So the reason why it's disappearing is because we want the default to go into the bottom one. So this way, if it is none of those, it basically goes to that default, and it will no longer disappear. The other thing we'll want to make sure of is that inside the designer, this is 1, 2, 3. So those are all set the way they should be set. Just the way it should be. So let's press play. So this is actually the wrong one. So more than likely is what's going on. Let me go and look at my graph. We have 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. That is weird, but it's still giving you the correct idea. So I don't really want to change anything per se. This is what we could do is if we get rid of this, and we come back in here into the designer, let's just make sure 1 is set, and it is. Let's hit save, hit play, and that still looks like the wrong one. It is the wrong one. But either way, I'm pressing L constantly and nothing's happening. So the only other option that I can think of is my... Nope, it's not my anchors. So I'm going to move that one there. That one can go there. And that one should be fine. So let's save this and test out one more time. Still not. Okay, that is weird. I don't know why. Don't know why it's doing that, but it's still good enough to give you an idea on what we're working with. An easy way to really tell which one we're working with, I'm going to set this to 0. Health 2 will be at 50%, and Health 3 will be at 100%. Compile, save. So this will tell me exactly which one I am working within. So this is 100%. So it is setting the third one to the max value. And it's just doing this on the very beginning. So is what we'd want to do is, if I figure out where the hell I'm at. So we have our event pickup, and we have all of these. Is what we want to do is actually duplicate all of this. Okie dokie. Let's duplicate all of this. There we go. And as what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a new custom event. Create event. That is not what I want. Add custom event. This is what I want. And this will be called begin. So we need to make sure that we call begin. And all begin is going to do is it's just going to set the visibility of this specific object. And the way it's going to do that is it's going to be called within the level 01. So we're going to say begin. Okie dokie. Begin. We will compile. We will save. We will save this one, and always save frequently. Unreal seems like it's more unstable than the others. Okay, so that kind of works. So what was going on that time is it started off with 2. So now we're definitely getting closer. We're still not quite where we want to be, because right now it should be starting off with 0. It should set them all hidden, and then from there it basically determines which one will be set. So right now it's set in health 2 and the current upgrade, so yeah, that should be set as 0. So the reason why it did that, because on begin it does the increased health. We don't want that in there, we just want it to execute. So now we should be at 0. We press L and we press L again. There we go. Easy fix. So with begin in play and all that being set, how do we do the animations? Well, luckily we only need animations for 2 of these, because we're not going to need to animate the first one. So we're lucky right there. But the way we would do that is inside the designer. This is where we get to learn about animations a little bit. So we have health 2 and health 1 and all these lovely little things. We're actually going to create a new animation. This will be called health increase. And let's just say 2. And the reason why I'm calling it 2, because this way we know this one correlates with 2 directly. And what we'll do is we'll do another one called health increase 3, and this one will correlate with 3 directly. So what I want to do is I actually want to turn health 1 on, and then health 2, all that's going to do is just come down here where this is about matched up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a... Oh, okay, that's fine. We will need a new track for this one. This one will not be for health 2 though. But this one, oh, and by the way, it only does the ones that you have selected. So you can also do all 9 widgets, but the initial ones will only show which ones you have selected. So we're going to do this for health 2. And we're going to actually do a track. So these are all the properties that you can change. Realistically, you're only going to ever mess with maybe 3 or 4 of these. But I want to mess with the transform. So we're going to expand out transform. We are messing with its... you can do the translation, but you can also do scaling. And so if you do scaling, it does both sides. So what we're going to have to do is we're actually have to move it over, and then that's where we will set the transform. So let's say we want it to happen over 1 second. So we'll move this to, let's move it to 50. We'll scale X by 2. We will scale X by 1.5. It is not working with me, so we'll do 1.4. That's closer. 1.3. There we go. So let's just move this to 55. Let's try 60 and 70. Okay, 65. Got it. And this one can be 1.35. So I know it's not exactly, but it gives you an idea. So what's going to happen is we're going to see it expand out like so. And so as long as we remember 65 and 1.35 will be fine. So that one's animated. We'll come to health 3. And we'll click on health 3. We'll increase, add another track. Add track, transform, expand out transform. We were going to do... so health 2 is already kind of like collapsed down. It's not collapsed upwards, but that's okay. So we're just going to do 65, and we're going to... No, we do not want to do that because we were at 0. What we want to do is we want to move to 1, and then we want to say 65, and then 1.35. So now we have that set. Now, I know you can't see anything, but this is kind of like what we're getting. And right here, all we need to do is just line up the anchor points like so. Oh wait, actually, we actually need to move this over some more. So we're going to say 1.4. Wait, 1.3. There we go. And then instead of 65, we'll say 70, 80, 85. Close enough. And so we'll test the animation, make sure it looks good. That looks fine. Now, normally, like, I actually did this for a project a while back, and it looked way better, but I also spent a lot more time with it. I'm sure there's a faster way of doing it instead of having to constantly mess with these. But also my pivot was back here, so it made it a lot easier. All I had to worry about was just the translation of it. So I didn't really have to worry about the scale too much at all, and it was actually really nice. I'm not going to lie. It was super nice. So let's go back into the graph. What do we want to do whenever we set this visibility? Well, so what we want to do is we want to play animation. Well, but what animation do we want to play? Well, right here we have this little variables tab. We can expand that out. This will be increase health 2. We'll attach that right there. We will duplicate this, move it down here, drag this executable pen off right here, and then we'll play number 3. Oops, helps if I put that in the animation. So now if I hit save, and then I hit, want to hit save, not just compile. But now if I hit compile and save, I press L, we can see that it is actually increasing. There are other things that you'd want to do. An example of this... Yeah, why not? So an example of this would basically be... what is it? If this was your character blueprint, whenever you're, like, let's say this, instead of pressing L, this was an overlap event, you don't just want to do increase health pickup. You also want to drag this off, and you'd want to increase a player's health as well. And that would be the best way to do it. Now, when I did a modular setup, it was very similar to this. But also for those who are watching that are like, but wait, I thought you were going to show us how to do the other style. Well, I technically just did. So is what's going on is, I'm like, yeah, you can set it up this way, and there are other ways to set it up, but all you really have to do is just play the animation. And is what I mean by that, like, let's say we have just one health bar. One health bar, that's it. So I'm actually going to drag this way over here. A little obnoxious, but that's okay. So this is our health bar. Beautiful, isn't it? I think it is. And you can either play an animation, Or is what you could literally do is you can actually, like, you can call this health bar by these. You could definitely do that. So if we add a progress bar right here, we add a track, and we do a transform, I mean, it's the same thing. So all you need to do, although instead of doing it that, well, no, you probably want to do it the other way, where you do the scale and then the other. And all you literally have to do is just say you want your scale to be 1.25 times the size of that health bar. All you need to do is just move it. You could even say 1.5. You could say it's 2 times. It doesn't matter what you say it is. As long as you get it about where it needs to be, it will actually extend outwards. So that's how you do a health bar that increases or whatever. And you can still do this even with like increase 3, increase 4, increase 5, and just keep doing the same thing. So that's the way I normally do it. And the reason why I'm like driven on the animation, because I think it looks cleaner. You'll also notice I set everything up in 1-second values on most of the tutorials I do. That's just because from there I can really modify it and tweak it and set up however I need to. So that's going to do it for this tutorial. I hope I taught you something, at least something, that's rather unique. And sorry about that. Until then, I shall see y'all next time.